Yep, there we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, well, my name is Jana Garcia, and I'm a Diamond Gold Ambassador with Plexus. And I'll just share a little bit of my story first. I have some notes that I wrote down. But I started Plexus in 2013 in April, and I basically signed up to get the discount. So I didn't know anybody in the business that was doing it for a business. I just knew somebody that had just signed up, and I actually didn't even know any customers because the person that I signed up under, she had just started. So she was doing the business for a business, but she hadn't started yet. She was doing another business that she was coming out of. So we kind of started together. And so I kind of just signed up because I saw Plexus on her. She had messaged me that she started this weight loss thing. And I said, okay, well, I've never heard of that. So how can I try it? And she said, go to my website and buy the 3-day trial pack. Because she's not local to me. She lives in New Jersey, and I lived at the time in Oklahoma. So I went and bought the 3-day trial pack, and I loved it. And so I told her, I said, I want to do this, and I want my husband to do it with me because he needs to lose a lot of weight. And I know that there's probably a cheaper way to buy it if you become a distributor, because that's how these things go. So let me sign up, and then I'll buy the products for me and my husband. So she said, sure, do that. So I went ahead and signed up, and I bought the pack that has the 2-month supply, and then also the 10 3-day trial packs. So I bought those, and the reason why I picked that package is because I have 3 sisters, and I knew that they would all want to try it too, because I liked it so much, and I thought, I know if I like it, they're going to like it. So they took about 6 of those. And so after about a week of being on the products, me and my husband, we both loved the product. So he had lost about 5 pounds. I had lost about 3 pounds. And so I just started sharing it with people that I knew, really well. And they took the last 4 of my trial packs. I sold those. And so I got some customers right away. Well, my 3 sisters signed up to be my team, so I went silver like immediately, not even knowing what silver was. And so the people started buying from me, and I started seeing that, maybe I didn't know anything about the comp plan, but I thought maybe I could earn a little bit of extra money to pay for my products. So over the course of a few months, it turned into a lot of customers and people that then also wanted to do the business as well, because checks started coming in for me. And of course, I started sharing with the people that I had shared the products with. I started sharing the opportunity with. And just knowing my experience, it was a really easy way to make money because all I was doing was posting on Facebook. Well, I had been a stay-at-home mom for 18 years. So I came into this with no business experience whatsoever. I had not a lot of social contacts. I went to church and I took my kids to school, and that was about it. I stayed home, and I was on Facebook a lot anyway. So I had a pretty big base of contacts from Facebook, 300 or 400 friends, I think, at the time. And so I just started sharing with people and people that I knew. And it wasn't any strangers. It wasn't like people that I had met off the street. It was just people that I knew. And it was so easy that I went to my friends and I said, hey, why don't y'all do this too? You're already taking the products. You're a customer. You could do this. Share with 3 of your friends, and you could get your products for free. So that's what happened over the next few months. And so I went gold about 3 months after I started, and I ranked up every month from there until November. I hit emerald. So it's 7 months I hit emerald, and then in 10 months I hit diamond. So for me, it went really fast. It doesn't go that fast for everyone, obviously, but if you put your mind to it and you work really hard, you can reach your goals, and I'm proof of that. And I have a really fast growing team. My team is very successful, and I have lots of amazing leaders on my team that I love. And so that's my story. I've lost about 20 pounds. Health-wise, I've lost about 20 pounds. My husband's lost about 45 pounds. I've overcome migraines, kidney stones, symptoms of all kinds of different things that are caused with yeast overgrowth, with the ProBio 5, and just so many things have improved health-wise in my life that it's so easy for me to share these products with people because I want other people to have the benefits of that too. So I will just go on to give you some of my tips if that's okay.
Yes, can I ask you one quick question?
Yeah.
Tell me when you started, like when did you join the company? Like what was the
April of 2013.
April of 2013. Okay, I was wondering that. Wow, so you ranked quickly. That's so awesome.
Yeah, it was just really crazy for me considering that I didn't do this for a business. I did it for the discount basically. And so, but it turned into a career that I never thought I wanted.
Yeah.
And after I did it, it brings so much fulfillment when you're helping people, and when you're helping people with their health, and then you're helping people with finances. And it's such a blessing, and you create so many friends, and it's all about the relationship. And so, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Thanks.
Well, I think you said you do have a few business tips for us this evening, so I'll let you go ahead and share those if you would like.
Okay. So I mentioned that, it's all about relationships for me, and for most of the people that I talk to that are ranking jewels in the company, it is really all about relationships for most of them that I've talked to. But it all starts out with relationships even from the beginning. And so I think that's the number one thing, is to remember that relationships are so important. And so when you're starting out, I don't know if most of the people on the call are starting out, or they've been in the business for a while, but relationships are really important, whether they're online or in person. And you have to create that relationship with people before they really trust you to either buy or to sign up on your team. And so that was the first thing I was going to talk about, is just a relationship with your Facebook friends, relationship with your family, and all that kind of stuff. And then once you get a team, relationships with your ambassadors, and also relationships with your customers. And keeping that relationship going is very important. I always tell my team, you cannot do this by yourself. You have to have people around you that can support you and motivate you and help you, especially if you're doing this on Facebook. And the other day I did a team call with some of my jewels, and it's like, you have to have that support. And I know people say that you can do Plexus without Facebook, but I don't know anybody personally that has been successful without the internet. And the reason why is because our contact base is so limitless with Facebook. And so taking advantage of that, whether you're doing it in person as well, but also taking advantage of Facebook is so big. And my team is really, really big on Facebook. That's what we do. We advertise on Facebook. It's free, and you keep expanding your circle. So your audience is limitless. You only have a certain amount of people in your social circle outside of your house that you can reach. But on Facebook and on the internet, it's virtually limitless. So plugging in is so important to different groups and your ambassador group that you have on your team, and making sure that you're well known to other people on your team by helping them and supporting them, whether it's somebody in your downline, your upline, or your sidelines. It's really important to make sure that your team collectively knows who you are, whether you just started the business or whether you're a Diamond ambassador. Everyone should know who you are. And if you're posting and you're encouraging and you're welcoming people and you're congratulating people and you're answering questions and you're doing all that, people are going to know your name. When people start knowing your name, you're going to get more friend requests. People are going to support you on Facebook. You're going to have more activity on your Facebook wall, and people are going to see that, and you just become better known, and then that way you have more support. And so for me and my team, we all try to support each other, and we try to post a lot in the ambassador groups. We support each other on our regular wall, so we try to friend. If you sign up somebody, make sure that that person has support, not just with you, but also with other Plexus ambassadors, because that's going to keep them motivated when they have that connection and they see other people posting. It's going to give them stuff to duplicate, which is so important, is duplication of other people that are successful, and other people that post really good stuff is a great way to train a new ambassador as to what they should be doing. So education is the next thing that's really important, always learning, and just like calls like this, being on as many calls as you can find. There's lots of teams doing calls that invite lots of people and anybody who wants to come to them. But watching YouTube videos, reading network marketing books, always educating yourself. We, even as Jules, we continue to educate ourselves because there's no way you're going to know everything ever. And the more you educate yourself, the more successful you're going to be. That's the bottom line. The more you plug in and you get in there and you read and you learn, whether that's in your back office to learn about product, frequently asked questions. It was like 6 months in before I realized there was a frequently asked question in the back office that you can go in and find questions that your customers may ask you. And if you spend time in your back office learning and educating yourself, you're going to be so much better off because the more you know, the more you grow. And so education is huge, huge, huge. And I always tell people, try to find people to duplicate so that you can do that education with. We have all of our people in Plexus, like Sarah Marvel and Sonia Dudley and all the people that have the YouTube videos. Spend time, even if you have 15 minutes a day, but set that time aside for education. It's very, very, very important to keep yourself educated and learning. It also keeps you motivated. And so sharing, we talked about Facebook, sharing on Facebook and sharing in person with people, posting and always posting, don't just post Plexus stuff, but post your personal stuff as well. But always keep it positive, and that's one of the things I want to talk about later is passion and positivity. But keeping yourself positive and posting a lot and posting all throughout the day, not just at one time every day, but throughout the day, because some people only get on Facebook in the morning, and if you're always posting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they're probably not going to see your stuff. So posting in the morning and in the afternoon and the evening, it doesn't take that long to post. That's a very short thing to do, and it's a way to advertise your business. And so post, several personal things a day, and then post several Plexus things a day. And that's the only way people are going to know what you have. If they don't know what you have, then they're not going to be able to purchase or become ambassadors or join your team if they don't know what you're doing. So, our worst nightmare is to have one of our friends sign up under somebody else that's better friends with us because they didn't know what we were doing. So, always keep it fresh, what you're posting. Always get out there and post new stuff every day, because one thing that will instantly, it sends a message. Somebody last night on the Diamond panel said it sends a message to your family and friends when you don't post for a week or two that you're not doing Plexus anymore. And that's what they think, because there's so many people watching you that you don't realize. You may think that you're out there and you're posting and nobody's seeing your stuff. The people are watching. I've had people join my team that watched me for 2 years and just signed up recently and said, okay, I've been watching you for 2 years. I've seen what you've been doing. I want to do it. And I've been watching you and thinking about it. So keep that in mind, that people are watching even if they don't say anything. So one tip that I have that's really important is always treat your ambassadors as they are still customers, because you're following up with your customers and you're making sure your customers have success on the product. But if somebody becomes an ambassador and you just completely, all you're trying to do is train them and not keep them focused on the product and education on the product, then they're going to slowly fizzle away if they don't know how to take their products, if they don't have motivation on success with their products. Because I guarantee you, if somebody is not having success with their product, they're not going to go out and build a team. They're not going to go out and get customers, because they have to be passionate about the products and they have to like the products before they're going to go out and share about them. So make sure that, a lot of times people sign up and that maybe they haven't been a customer for very long. And so if you just go right into training with them and forget about the product part, the education part, then they're going to slowly go away. And because they're going to stop taking their products, they're not going to, they might not come to you, they might not feel comfortable coming to you. So you have to go to them and say, how are you doing on your products? Let's talk about your products. If you just see somebody that's not posting or you don't see any activity, go to them and say, how are you dealing with your products? Let's talk about what you're taking, what you need to be taking, just like you do with your customers. And that is huge, because I didn't learn that either until somebody in my downline actually told me that. And it does really work to help your customer, your ambassadors with their products. So you making sure you have tools. Obviously, I'm sure you guys train all the time on having business cards and having things that I love these things in our back office that you can attach Slim to. And I love it because it has the ingredients on the back and it looks just like the bag on the front. And they're very inexpensive, and you can staple a Slim to these. My number one tip on this is to not give these away unless you have their information to follow up, because you might as well be throwing it in the trash, and it's a very expensive sample to give away if you don't have a sample, an address or a phone number or Facebook friend request or something to be able to follow up with that person. And that's another thing, to always follow up with people, because that usually they won't call you back. They'll wait for you to contact them. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times to contact them before they buy. So make sure you always follow up. But obviously business cards are really important, to always hand those out as much as you can. Give those out to people, and always try to get their information as well. Going to events, just like I went to last night with the Diamond panel. Don't think that just because you've been to 15 opportunity presentations that you don't need to go to anymore, because the more you hear that, the more that you'll be able to share with other people. And I will still go. I will drive an hour to go to an opportunity meeting, even though I've given plenty myself. But to be able to hear somebody else say it, they may say it in a different way that you've ever heard it before. They may have a different style, or they may have different tips to give out. And it always benefits you to hear something more than once. So go to as many of those things, even if they're training things. If it's a meeting about a comp, or even online, if it's a meeting about the comp plan, don't just think, oh, it's just for new ambassadors. I don't need to go to that. I already know the comp plan. Because I guarantee you it will help you when you are trying to explain that to another ambassador. The more you hear that, the more comfortable you're going to feel when you're sharing that with other people. So going to the Plexus sponsored events, as well as things that are put on in your own local area, and be watching, because I'm sure on your ambassador group like we have, we always try to share the meetings when they come up available for different people. You can always find out where those things are and ask your upline or your jewel that's above you if you're interested in going to meetings and you can't find any in your area, and they will find them for you. Because in our jewels group, they post meetings that other jewels are doing, that they open it up to everyone, and you can usually find something that's close to you. And then Plexus does so many a year in different areas that, I mean, even if you have to drive 3 or 4 hours to get there, it's so worth it to go to a Plexus event, because being around, not just hearing those things, but also being around other Plexus ambassadors is huge for people. Just the connections that you make, the stories that you hear, the testimonies will get you so pumped up and motivated to do this business. And just like last night, I had 4 people in my car, well, including my husband. There were 6 altogether, and we went to the Diamond meeting together. And they were from 2 different legs that were in there. Immediately, they became Facebook friends. Immediately, it was an hour drive. On the way there, they all shared stories, what the products had done for them. They shared what their hopes and dreams and goals were. And it was like instant connection, because they're all Plexus ambassadors. And by the time we got home, you know, it was the car ride that really was the best thing about the whole night, even though there was tons of great information shared by the Diamonds. But those connections that you're going to make at these events are so important for you to connect with other people and hear. Then when we were there, we heard like they had 6 health testimonials, and just hearing those in person is so much better than hearing them on Facebook. It just puts a name with a face. It's real. And people are like, wow, you know, this is changing lives, and it gets you so motivated. So please try to go to as many of those things as you can. So passion and positivity is what I was going to talk about. And it's very important to stay passionate about the products. And you do that through these other ways, as the relationships and the education, all that. Trying to stay plugged into as many things as you can. Being passionate is what draws people to you. So when you're on Facebook and you're posting, always keep your posts positive. You know, I know everyone has a bad day, and everyone's sick sometimes and all that. But if somebody sees that you're negative and you have a bad day, like I said before, they're watching you. And they're going to see that, and they're not going to want to join a team that's negative. They're not going to want to join somebody who's sick all the time, or they're depressed, or they, have this terrible day, and they're, they have drama, and they're like, nobody wants to join drama. Everyone wants to join a happy, fun person, not to say that you're fake, but just to be happy about what you're doing and passionate about what you're doing. That draws people. My most successful people on my team are the ones that are the most passionate, and they share stories about themselves. And it's always great to post other people's stuff and before and afters, especially people that you know. But when you can post something about yourself, that's what really draws people in. So if you're posting a picture of yourself drinking a pink drink, is better than the best before and after of somebody that you don't know, or that somebody else that besides you. Just showing yourself, saying, oh, this pink drink is so yummy and it's giving me so much energy. I look forward to drinking it every day. Being honest and genuine about what the products have done for you, but at the same time, always posting about yourself, because that's what people want to see. You're Facebook friends with them. They're not Facebook friends with Tracy, who's lost 50 pounds, even though that's great for them to see that, but they're looking for what the products have done for you. Even if it's just, I love the pink drink, or the X Factor is giving me so much energy and I'm being able to keep up with my kids on vacation, whatever. Post those pictures. Always try to connect it to Plexus if you can, but also continue to post family stuff. The same stuff that you posted before Plexus, you should still be posting that after Plexus, because people don't want to see nothing but Plexus. You're trying to make them interested in what you're doing, and they're also interested in your life. So always respond quickly to people if you can. I know some people work full time, and I have lots of people. I have sapphires on my team that work full time. So I know it can be done with a full time job, and you can't always respond right away. But those people that I see that when somebody posts, they like it instantly. If somebody comments on one of their posts, they always come back and respond. If somebody asks you, what is Plexus? How much is this? Obviously, we can't tell prices online, but we can say, I'll private message you. So many times I see people don't respond, but they private message the person. That's a big mistake, because if you're not showing that activity, people are going to think, oh, well, she left her hanging, so I'm not going to even ask. But if you say, I'll private message you, Susie, they'll say, oh, I want to be private messaged too. So they'll ask you as well. But keeping that activity going on your Facebook is so important. That's why it's so great to have other Plexus friends on your Facebook, so that you can continue that activity with each other. And I so encourage that on my team. I tell people, connect, with as many Facebook Plexus people as you can, and help each other out. What I do, I don't tag 50 people. If I say, who's ready for convention, or who's ready for Maui, whatever it is I'm excited, I don't tag 50 people. I go and private message my leaders or my people on my team that I'm friends with, and I say, hey, would you go comment on that post? Because then it looks a lot more genuine when you do it that way, rather than tagging a whole bunch of people. And so don't be afraid to ask for help from your people, from your group. Don't be afraid to ask for support from those. That's why it's so important to create that circle of people that you feel comfortable with going and saying, hey, would you comment, so that it will bring it up and like it and stuff. And when you start teaching your team to do that, eventually they get in that habit, and then they just do it automatically, because you're training them to do that, and they know that's what works, so that's what they're going to do. So I've been watching a lot of really fast-growing people lately, and I've been watching their Facebook groups. And if you go and you follow people that are fast-growing, a lot of times they might have 5,000 friends, so they can't add any more friends. So what I do is I follow them, and I follow all the diamonds, and I follow all the people that are on that weekly business building leaders chart, the middle row. And I follow those people, and I make sure that I'm watching what they're posting, because when they post, you can tell it's passionate, it's positive. They post a lot, and it's not, oh, I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch. It's stuff about their family. It's inspiring stuff. It's fun stuff. If you don't feel like you have that, watch what other people are doing and copy that. Just copy what other people are doing. That's the most simple way to do this, is to copy other people and see what they're doing. But those people, they're fast growing because people are watching them, and they like to watch them because they're interesting and they post stuff all the time and they're passionate. And who doesn't want to go be around a passionate, fun person? Everyone wants that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you watch people that are successful and you do what they do, then that's how you reach your goals. Also, I will say on goals, always set goals, but set them one at a time.
Yes.
Don't think if you're gold, don't think, oh, I've got to be diamond by December. No, you need to be senior gold by this date. And like Celeste said last night, if that doesn't happen by that date, just extend your date. Don't change your goal. Keep your still, your senior goal, but extend your date. But always have a goal in mind. Write it down. Make it where you can see it. Put it as a screensaver on your phone, a big picture of a ruby or gold or whatever it is your next step is, and take it one step at a time. That's what I did during my whole process. I took things one step at a time. I took it one person at a time, one team member at a time, help that one person get to silver, help that next person get to silver, help that person succeed, help that customer succeed, and just took it with one person at a time. And by helping people one-on-one like that, you get the best feeling of what you're doing, because obviously if you're in Plexus, you're doing it to help other people, because that is our biggest reward. And so when you're doing it one by one like that, it gives you the biggest reward, because these people will come back to you and they will thank you for what you've done for them, whether it's health or financial. And by taking it one step at a time like that, it doesn't overwhelm you. And you feel like you can get to that next goal, because I'm helping that next person get to their goal. And so listen more, obviously, listen more, talk less. Try to find out people like to talk about themselves, so always listen to them first and hear what they have to say before you start suggesting things for them. And my very last tip is what I always tell people is consistency, because without consistency, none of this stuff matters. I had somebody ask me in the car last night, when you see people that fail at this, what is usually the reason? I said, it's not usually, it's always that they are not consistent, that they either stop taking their products, they stop posting, they get focused on something else, their attention is drawn away, and they're not consistent. But they have to be consistent daily. You have to, even if it's 15 minutes a day that you have, or 30 minutes a day, it has to be daily. It can't be, oh, well, I've got something else going on for 2 weeks, so I can't be here. Well, your business is going to fizzle out if you do that, because when you start growing a team, they're going to do what you do. And if you're not consistent, they're not going to be consistent, and that's just a fail. I mean, it's going to fail if you're not consistent. You have to be consistent with everything you're doing. You have to be consistent with your product, with sharing, with posting. Everything that you're doing has to be consistent, otherwise it fails. And that's the number one reason for failure, is consistent, because if you quit, that's instant failure. But if you stick with it, you will eventually succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will close. The last thing I want to say is my favorite quote of all time is that in network marketing, you think it's all about money and recognition at first, but in the end, you will see that your greatest joy comes from seeing other people succeed. And how true is that? I mean, you feel like that, but in the end, when you've reached your success, whatever that may be, that's what your true joy comes from. And for me, everyone has their why. For me, it's seeing other people succeed. It's seeing other people find that freedom that I found in being able to not worry about finances, to not worry about time. And it gives you freedom, time, and health, everything. But to me, it's all about freedom and helping other people find that same freedom that I found. And with this company, anyone can do it. That's what's so great about it. You don't have to have a doctorate degree. You can be a stay-at-home mom, or you can be a teacher, or you can be a salon owner or a hairstylist, whatever it is, whatever field you're in, you can do this, and you can succeed with it, and you can make really great money, and you can help other people. And that's what's so great about it.
Wow, thank you so much. Oh my word, I have like a whole page of notes. So you're definitely preaching to me this evening. So It
That's
was
great.
so good. And so just you're like a wealth of knowledge. And it is true, we have to keep growing. I'm learning that myself. Just listening to Big Al actually today and taking notes from my team. And I feel like if I read the book, then maybe, and they don't have time to read, then I can give that information to my team. And so we're doing little things like that myself. So yes, we have to keep growing. You can't stop. That's
Right.
one thing
And
I
then,
learned.
I love Big Al because the main reason why I like him is because he's the one that has the most audio
Yes.
things on audio. And for me, I'm very ADD, and if I have 15 minutes, I'm going to watch a video, I'm going to listen to an audio, or I'm going to pick up the phone and talk to somebody. I'm not going to open a book.
Right.
I love to read, but to me, it's just I have a lot more that kind of spare time I have when I'm doing something else and I can listen. So I will listen to Big Al or any of the ones that have the audios or videos or anything. I'll do that while I'm getting ready in the morning. I'm putting makeup on or straightening my hair, whatever you have that time where you're doing something else, but it's mindless things where you can listen to something else. That's what I would suggest for somebody who's really busy, is to listen, because there's so many things you can listen to. And Big Al is a great one because almost everything he has is on audio.
Everything. And also podcast. I was looking into that today. I thought, well, maybe when I walk on the treadmill, there's like a ton of stuff on MLM on podcasts. I'm like, that's crazy. Okay, I've got to learn this, So it's a lot of fun, and it is all about relationships. I'm learning that too. And so I've been in the business since October of 2013. So yeah, so kind of the same year. So we're going on our third year of being in this company. So yes, I'm so happy that you were on the call this evening. And so I am going to actually type out my notes for all of my team and put it on our page and try to stay connected. It looks like there's a question for you, so let me read it here really quick.
Okay.
What are a few of your best network marketing books you would recommend?
Well, Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins is probably the one book that I took time to actually read, because the very first chapter, or even the foreword where she talks about herself, had me completely hooked. And she's one of those people that you read her book and you think, why isn't everyone doing this? Why, you feel like you found this secret that you wish that everyone would buy into, because it is so beneficial to people. And, we have such a great company with Plexus, but just the network marketing field of how there's no cap to what you can make. And I mean, you're having fun while you're doing it. You get to travel, you get to see other people, you get to meet so many new people, and you think, why isn't everyone doing that? But that is probably my favorite book, because I think she is so great at telling you why it's so great, what with network marketing. But I love Eric Worre.
Yes.
I mean, I've listened to his CD, I don't know how many times, but I do love him. And I like the Big Al. I like his 4 personality that talks about how to talk to people that have different personalities. I like that one a lot. But there's a lot of
There's so many, isn't there?
There are.
And I actually got to meet with Sarah Robbins just for a few seconds, and she is precious. I mean, she's the sweetest person in the whole wide world. And, she is that shy school teacher, and you can totally pick that up whenever you do meet her. So it's really exciting. Yes. Well, I think that was the only question we have. And I want to thank you for taking time away from your family. I know you were at a last night to encourage my team and Angie's team as well. So thank you so much. You were totally awesome. So,
well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. You too.
Can't wait to meet you in just about a month, maybe, or less than a month, right?
Like 2 weeks.
Yay! There we go.
So much to do.
Yes, awesome. Get that 80s costume, right?
Yeah, it's going to be so fun.
Well, I'll meet you soon, and thank you again.
You're welcome. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.